wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back. My camera slipped. There we go. To QuestJunkiesUK. I hope that you're doing very, very well, and thank you for joining us today as we venture back into the Feywild, to the domain of delight known as Prismere and its current predicament. And we are very happy to be here once again after 2 weeks off. It's been 3 weeks since we were here, and it is lovely to be back. And unfortunately still without our full complement of adventurers, but that be damned. We are adventuring. We are going off on an adventure. And we have CZRPG-fueled shenanigans planned for said adventurers, so we shall see where that takes us in just a moment. Thank you to everyone who's joining us already. Thank you, Charlie, for the subscription. Nuke Lane, Killer Kitten, Baron Dragonborn. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. And everyone looking there as well. Nice to see you. Welcome in. And everyone in the VOD squad catching up as well. Good to have you along for our adventures wherever and whenever you can. Thank you so much. Speaking of CZRPG, let me say a massive thanks to them for sponsoring the channel at the moment. And they are giving you the opportunity to win their fabulous Encounters in the Feywild, a fantastic supplement for Feywild or other kind of mystical natural environments that you should maybe have in your games. You should jump in that once I get it up and running. Give it 2 seconds. And we will be sending that to one lucky winner today. Drawing at the end of the stream. Do not worry if you cannot hang around till the end. We shall send it in your Twitch whispers. And I can guarantee you, everyone that has received their presents so far has been very, very happy with what they've got. Fantastic maps, fantastic encounter design. You can use them as one-shots. You can use them in your campaigns, drop them in wherever you fancy. If you are not fortunate enough to be the winner, you can still get this fantastic stuff in your games if you head on over to that Patreon right there. That is the place to be for very reasonably priced monthly doses of fabulousness from CZRPG. Beautiful, beautiful maps and everything designed there. So, that said, let me give you all the opportunity to get your grubby little mitts on some of that CZRPG swag. Start the giveaway. Boom, there it goes. Exclamation mark enter for your chance to win. And good luck to everyone who jumps in there. Now, that said, let us also say a massive thank you to Sirenscape for allowing us to broadcast mystical music throughout the world, as we have our players here. All of us are in completely different parts of the globe, but the music is off and away wherever it needs to be, along with sound effects and all sorts of wonderful things. Official Wizards of the Coast content, other wonderful game systems as well. Jump on over to Sirenscape.com for a free 30-day trial. And if you fall in love with it like we have, you can become a Super Siren subscriber and get access to that all the time. Now, we have other sources of music as well. They are over in our VODs on YouTube. If you look at the links and everything in the information of those videos, there's the channel. You can find all of these sources of music that are free to use in your games and projects however you wish. Please jump on over there and have a look. There's our YouTube. And if you want information about what's happening on the channel, please go to Twitter or Instagram as well. Lots of fantastic stuff going there. But the best place to get the information before it comes out anywhere else is our followers Discord. If you're not already, do consider giving us a follow, and we will send you that Discord invite in your Twitch whispers, not Discord. And there's something that can go winging its way towards you very, very soon. Some exciting news, not directly links to the channel, but a good friends of ours that came out just yesterday. Our good friend Kyle over at Play Nerd Allies and his fabulous organization, the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming, has just released their first project from their fantastic series where they are working with creators of color, which is a term I absolutely love. The creators of color program they're doing called Magnificent Mythologies, where they are working with various BIPOC creators to tap into their culture and their different folk myths and stories that they have, and creating wonderful adventures, the proceeds of which all go directly to those creators. The Foundation does not take any of the profits from the sales of those. And the first one has been released, The Stormy Wedding by Bashir Goose. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, sorry. A very man of the moment, person of the moment writer, because they were also contributing to the book that was released just this week, Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel from Wizards of the Coast, as well as the other recent release, the new Critical Role book, Call of the Netherdeep, they were involved with. And they were involved with one of my favourite books ever, the Cobalt Press's Southlands world setting, and the wonderful, wonderful desert Egyptian-style setting that is. And they've done stuff for Starfinder and all sorts of other cool stuff. Fantastic one-shots to get very reasonably priced. There is the Drive-Thru RPG link there. Please consider supporting them and this fantastic program. Our own cast member, Buns from Out of the Abyss, has also worked with Play Nerd Allies to create one of these magnificent mythologies, so look forward to that coming out in the future as well.
Exciting.
Yes, indeed. Now,
So exciting.
that said, let us also say a massive thank you to the wonderful Evan Blair Art for this beautiful character art that we have here. Boom. There are all of his things. Do head on over there and give all of them a follow, as they are beautiful, beautiful artists and a beautiful, beautiful person as well. Unfortunately, usually streaming when I'm asleep. Sometimes if I stay up too late, I catch the start of their stream. So I get to say hello and then good night immediately. But wonderful, wonderful people. Check them out there. And that is also augmented rather nicely by these beautiful boundaries that we have here, these borders and frames created by that one right there. That lady with the flowers in there. You! Omaida.
Oh, thank you.
Omaiga. Sticking a word of good I'm sorry, excuse that minor draconic introversion there. Yes, and I should be shouting out all of Scarlett's wonderful, wonderful things that are going on in just a moment. Once she starts flapping her jaw about stuff, so get that in the chat there for you to follow them as well. So I believe that is everything. Hello, everybody. How you doing, Mac and Nuclean? Thank you. Good luck, everybody. In the giveaway. So much draconic. All the draconic. Rah, 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 rah. Draconikusugita.
I know one word in draconic. Wakarane!
Yeah. I don't know where he's picking up this horrible accent from, Scarlett. He's got that nasty Kansai slant.
Wonder who? I got bingo man. I speak the Japanese equivalent of Australian English.
I blame anime. Even that he was watching Crawls. Just angry high school Japanese.
Angry high school Japanese is the best Japanese though, because it's so pure rage.
Is there any other kind?
For me, as a person trying to do business here in Japan, I try not to use it too much.
Okay, but
your
business is the drinking part
I have,
of business.
As of next week, I have a high school boy in my house, so I have to be careful. Anyway. So, without further ado, let us say hi, hello to these lovely two. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Harry Mack freestyles. I like rhyming things at the moment, which is I just missed out. We had a moose noodle just the other day. Anyway,
noodle moose.
Sorry, wrong way around.
Oh hell.
Moose noodle works too. Okay, so who the hell are you? Who are you playing, and where are they at right now? As we jump back into things, Corey.
Hi, I'm Scarlett Song, she, her. I am one of the bards at the College of Inspiration, and I am an artist professionally. And today I am once again reprising my role as the ever mysterious Kore, whose mouth you cannot see, unlike mine.
Indeed, and there is all of Scarlett's stuff. Follow, support, give due recognition.
Patronize.
Oh, you're running that.
Oh, you lovely little thing, Scarlett. Oh, not like that. Sorry. No. Not patronize. Sorry.
Give her your
patronizing. I was patronizing.
Oh,
that's such an adorable mask. Sorry.
You say with like the Oni teeth sticking
I know, right? Geographical distance is the only thing that's saving me. Okay, so yes, Patreon and Twitter and Twitch, the aforementioned College of Inspiration. Look, that's someone calling right now. I need you to make some art for me. In much demand. Yes, please jump on over there and give Scarlet all the support as we travel south to Willigrim. You're not Scottish, you're German.
Yeah. And I am Willie Grimm. I am a Fey Warlock. But in the real world, I am DM Charlie, one of the co-founders and the face of DM Charlie Gaming, a cadre of pro DMs where we are dedicated to providing consistently memorable and exceptional role-playing experiences. We have an amazing, diverse, and inclusive community of passionate, ardent players. I also do some Twitch streaming. Next Wednesday on the 30th, my birthday,
Yes.
I will be. Thank you. I will be.
be.
Thank you. I will be streaming for 12 hours. Come on by. We'll be watching samurai movies, gladiator movies. I might even throw in Hello Dolly because everybody loves Barbara Streisand. For raising money for FIG, the same foundation for inclusive gaming that Phoenix just mentioned. And yeah, it'd be a treat to have you come by. And if you can afford to throw us $1 or $2, it'd be wonderfully appreciated. But yeah, we're going to spend some time with one of my personal favorites, Toshiro Mifune and Akira Kurosawa. I'm thinking Seven Samurai, maybe one or two of the Samurai trilogy. And if I'm getting really, really hardcore, maybe Ron, one of those really deep movies. Should be a lot of fun. So
Nice. I heartily recommend the last hour where it's going to be messy as hell, probably.
right. Just like,
Come
on, 35 cents.
Against the
35 cents, right? Drool.
All right.
Coffee pot. Tonk.
Someone in a group chat just came up with a notification on my phone, which is rather apt. It just says savage. I was like, yeah, that is unrelated, but at the same time perfectly related. Okay, thank you. Last time we were here in the Feywild in Prismia, we were venturing top right to the Watcher's Pool. I shall now deliver you to said destination. With label, thanks to the wonderful Frictionless Dan. And you headed up here and talked to Afgunk, the delightful Bullywug, who told you some interesting information about the Soggy Court, the Bullywug Royal Court at Downfall, which is where the hag, Bavlorna, holds sway over this blighted realm. And you followed the course of the river up to the Watcher's Pool, as you had been told by many sources to seek out information there. But as you approached, there was horrible, discordant yowling and yammering and singing as Devilkin were using their foul music to keep the Watcher, the Noodle Moose. Which way was it? Noodle Moose, thank you. And to keep down their powers and keep them suppressed and hidden in their cave. Our brave adventurers failed to sneak up on the Devilkin and were attacked. And they gave fights until the barbarian did the very unbarbarian thing and played beautiful music on their newly crafted reed flutes that they'd made with the Bullywug fishermen just before. And the beautiful music quelled the Devilkin and forced them to cover their ears and rack their brains and cry out in absolute abject horror at the horrible, horrible, beautiful music. And they were taken out of the picture, allowing Corey and Willie to dance across the xylophone, multicolored stones to the cave. Which is the other option. There are Frictionless Dan in his fabulous supplements. Let me give that a shout out in chat. Whilst not sponsoring this particular episode, he sponsors my heart. Do head on over there and check out DM's Guild, fabulous creator, Frictionless Dan, and they're on Twitter there as well. Wonderful supplementary material for various campaigns, not the least this wonderful thing here.
Yeah, make a quick shout out for him.
Yes.
He's also got a another one shot if you would like to play with Frictionless Dan, the man himself, coming up next Wednesday on Earth 31st. Yeah.
So jealous.
Send me a message.
It's always always at a time I can't play. I'm like, no.
You want the games? Got the hookups.
Indeed, indeed. No problem, Papa Dragon. We are just rambling on here and getting things going. You have not missed anything at all. Good job with work. What? We good? Okay.
We're good.
So, yes, so enjoying this fabulous extra Witchlight content from Frictionistan, they did manage to save the Watcher from the Devilkin and asked them their questions 3, and they got their rhyming answers back, and they got lots of useful information. They are heading towards the moving Telemy Hill to find a goblin there who has a key that they are looking for. They also discovered... what else did you discover?
That people we sought were in downfall.
People are in downfall.
And
And
then
the
in order
alicorn.
to rescue Sibylna, we needed to find the alicorn.
The alicorn, indeed. Yes, the unicorn's horn. Okay. Thank you. Now, as they finished up their conversation with the Noodlemus, they seemed very keen that they stay and keep them company forever and ever. Stop it.
You have the moose one?
The alicorn was the horn we had all along the way. No, sorry, just got images of Charlie getting the horn now, and it's wrong. It's all wrong.
The real treasure was friendship.
Friendship.
Burn it all. Hags,
You gotta go to
Hags
Telemy
are not
Hill,
happy about
Charlie.
that. Oh God, my spleen.
Yeah, haven't heard that one.
That's a callback.
10,000
I
times.
know.
There's a callback.
The other one is bit
Sorry,
my
hon.
finger.
We had
Charlie bit
Oh.
my finger.
we had an Australian teacher here who loathed that unicorn thing so badly, and for his birthday, the 2 girls that used to tease him so badly about it made a unicorn pinata for him to just beat the shit out of.
That is the good.
Very
that is a good
cathartic. Very cathartic. All right, so as they were attempted to be, they almost tried to be charmed by the Noodlemoose, and he attempted to
Almost.
brainwash them and keep them with him in the cave forever and ever, but they were able to escape and roll away from the moose, skipping across those musical stones into the forest once more. They went, and they travelled south towards where they think Telemy Hill is where they left it, so as to see how far it has wandered. But the waters came spewing forth from the wells and flooded the realm once more. So they quickly made their way to those nice wooden gantries that you see in our beautiful map here from the module, which comprise the Brigand's Tollway, and the chance to rise up above the waters and camp for the night before making their way further south. As they splashed through the water and up onto the boardwalks, they became aware that there was another member of their party. There was one too many, as a cowled, hooded figure came strutting along beside them confidently. Upon being noticed, they threw back their hood, and it was the Harangon Bandit himself who came jumping forward and... Hang on.
With a very long blue scarf.
Where's the song? I want the song.
You know, I do gotta say, I am a little bit discomfited that of this entire place, the Brigand's Tollway is the only thing that was named literally.
True. It is
Yeah.
rude.
I mean, the Watcher's Pool, Downfall.
Right.
But yes, the toll shall be paid. As the Harangon Bandits approach.
2 weeks I've been dreading this moment. 2 weeks.
I feel like years of teaching children's songs for English have prepared me for this moment.
Well, plus the way this song is played, we're about to get robbed by a bunch of Disney cartoon characters.
Yeah.
You're all so. Ugh. Ugh.
I had to get used to the Days of the Week song teaching, man. This is nothing.
The Harengon bandits reveal themselves as two flat-bottomed barges pull through the swamp waters towards your location, and the ungodly howl of bagpipes echoes through the trees as the Harengon bandits converge on your location, apparently rather miffed by the death that you brought upon them. As you did kill the last ones you met.
I warned them before it was going to happen, all right? I was like, please do not attempt to rob us or else you might die. And then they died.
Did you or did you not just offer them jerky of their own kind?
I mean, waste not, want not. I'm a survivalist at heart.
Yes, Corey uses every part of the Harengon.
Every single part. It's practical.
Yes, indeed. And as our wonderful, wonderful Agdon Bluescuff leaps unnaturally fast, his long blue scarf whipping and writhing behind him. Let us show you that beautiful picture again. Where's it gone? Agdon, where are you? Art handouts. Oh, I don't like how Roll20 does this sometimes. Where is it?
In the depths of despair.
Can't find you. Oh, there's that. I'm very looking forward to showing you that picture, but that's not what I need right now. Agdon! Come hither. Haha. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. No. Yeah? No. Why? Where are you? Where are you?
Where are you? Where are you?
I love this music. Everyone, Sirenscape. Wonderful, wonderful music.
It's okay.
It's okay. Hush.
Hey, yo. 心配しないで.
Oh, you're saying, so you're saying it's okay that I can't find it. I thought you said, yeah, Sirenscape's okay. I was like, whoa. It's okay, Vicky doesn't work there anymore, so.
Right?
Say what you like about it.
You say, as you're supposed to give them a spiel at the start of the show.
It's just so he can use it. Not a sponsor. just a fun thing. It's just fabulous stuff. They're fools for letting their wonderful Vicky go. Fool of a duck.
Fool of a duck.
Fool of an Australian company.
As the Australian in here, I agree.
As a representative of the Australian nation.
Yes, I am totally a representative of my country.
The official.
That's a bad move, mate. No one wants my prime minister as the representative of our country.
I can't find it, but I do have this wonderful one here instead. Hello.
Hello.
I am a Harengon. I love that art.
Yeah, yeah, a new one.
It's beautiful. Right, grab the scarf and hulk him like he's Loki.
It's bloody tempting.
Nice,
let me tell you
Papa.
that.
Well, he's a bit sensitive about that scarf because the lovely Archfey of Prismere did him an injustice with that scarf for quite a long time. Anyway, you are confronted by Angdon and the other Harengon bandits, and Corey, you gesture to them rabbit jerky, and
I offered them a meal. I didn't say it was jerky, but it is very obviously rabbit jerky.
Yeah, they sniff that. And Agdon goes, "Oh, I say, the absolute worst form. Well,
Worst form? I mean, there were worse.
you killed the jolly gentleman of the Harengon brigands of the Brigands Told Way.
Only after they tried to kill me.
Offer us rabbit jerky. They were not trying to kill you in the slightest. They were merely willing to exact a toll upon you and steal some of your belongings. A trifling thing. No. I must insist that you pay a price befitting your crimes. Here, on the Brigand's Tollway. Spanner! Wingnut! You just hear a little coming through the trees over the water. You see two fairies. Gossamer gowns drifting about their forms as they
Oh dear.
flit through the air. Gossamer gowns of black gossamer, which goes very nicely with their black lipstick, eyeshadow, and nail polish, and the black membranous wings that flit behind this female and male duo. As they buzz over Agdon's head, he flips up a small vial. Bavlorna cooked this up for us just yesterday. Let's see what it does. She called it regret. And the two fairies go zzz, and they flash through the air towards you. And as they do, they bust open the cork on this little vial, and the beating of their wings disperses this cloud of glittering green and yellow spore-like glittering particles that drift over you all. And you kind of like cough a little bit and like wave it out of your face and shake your heads. And as you look up, you see Agdon's smiling rabbit form and ears pricked up in curiosity as the trees and the little lights of fireflies and other such fey things flitting about start to shimmer and bend and curve, and the lights start to spiral, and you collapse to the wooden boardwalk.
Not again.
As you lose consciousness, and the forest of Hither disappears. All goes dark. And then starts to come back into focus. There is no water. There is no wooden boardwalk. There are trees. And there is a cottage. You look about, and all the other sides around you are just surrounded by trees. But there's only the two of you. Your two friends have disappeared, seemingly transported elsewhere by this fairy magic. You look to the front of you at the dilapidated cottage. Ancient, crumbling, almost reclaimed by the forest as it stands before you in this glade. You almost don't recognize it. It looks so different now that it's so old and falling apart. It looks so different, cocooned in the vines and flowers that have grown up and around it. A strange mismatch of flowers, a complete bouquet of all the different types that should not be growing together in the same place. Willie, with your sharp mind, you cannot help but notice these are all the various flowers you've seen bloom in Kore's hair since arriving here. As you realize that and look over, you see Kore's hair escaping from under her hood and spilling down over her shoulders past the mask, completely devoid of leaf or petal. Something you've half come to expect. Certainly in a sudden change, a threatening environment such as this, there would be some indication of her companion's mood. You've still to discover quite what is the cause of this, but it is gone. There's nothing but hair, nothing but Corey.
Do I feel different?
Lighter, almost as if you just had a very significant haircut. And you could feel like the cool on your neck for the first time, probably in like a long time. But on a spiritual level, the spiritual cool of a bare neck and a bare soul.
Darling?
Nothing. Thank you, Soundscape. And I said, you barely recognize it due to the dilapidated nature of its building. You barely recognize it as all the flowers and growth have sprung up around it. You barely recognize it without the furniture and belongings of an Eladrin village stacked up around it. As the two of you find yourselves stood once more in front of Granny's cottage, the hag you had to deal with in recent days. Just yesterday, in fact.
Gott in Himmel. Picking himself up from the dirt, Willie's going to stretch and make an intuition roll based on how full is his bladder, how thirsty is he, how achy are the muscles, to try to intuit how much time has passed. Or an insight, sorry.
Yeah, please.
How is it 23?
Very nice. And it leaves you in no doubt at all that you have been removed from time. And that this is not now. In fact, you would say from the look of the cottage that it is several years in the future. The way it's starting to fall to pieces and the forest is starting to clamber back over the hag's cottage.
All right. I think there's nothing for it, Q, but let us take a look and see if we can determine what happened to the hag. See if we can determine where or when we are. This is most unusual. Do you agree?
Sorry, about that. Yes, no, this is rather strange.
Corey,
She's a little bit shaken.
Are you all right? You seem quite disturbed. Indeed. What is wrong with your hair? It is not. What has happened to you, Corey?
They're not here. And you'd think I'd be happy about it, but they're not here.
I see, Liebchen.
Sorry. Better to find out where they could be. I haven't.
Corey,
she looks really. Yeah.
Go for it.
She looks really not quite lost. Like something has, like a part of her has been removed, essentially.
Willie will lift a hand, like gesturing towards you. Is it all right if I touch you, Corey?
Yes, no, that's fine.
He'll put a hand on her shoulder. It will be okay, Liebchen. We will solve this dilemma. We will find your companion. Have no fear, even in this land of thieves. And then surreptitiously, Willie will start patting down his pockets, you know, making sure he's got both his ears, things like that. Feel his nose.
We were sprinkled with dust, I guess. Pixies. It's always bloody pixies.
Is it possible that there was some sort of narcotic effect, and this is merely a fabrication of our own imaginations, or you being more familiar with this place? Have we been affected by some sort of dioma or trick
She
of the
pinches
weave?
herself. Like, as you're saying that, she pinches herself. Pinch. Does it hurt?
Did it hurt, John?
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Ow. She goes to pinch you.
Does it hurt?
Pinch.
Yes.
Well, at least our physical senses are saying this is a real experience, so we must proceed cautiously, just in case this is not our imagination and we are accidentally, well, we don't want to experience anything too permanent.
The
Come.
seasons haven't changed, though, have they?
No.
All right.
But
Could I listen out?
you do remember going on what Agdon said about Bavlorna giving them something to use, and you remember the day before the woodlands and the environment was
Turned that colour.
changing because Bavlorna was doing something,
All right.
concocting something, happy about something.
Happy about regret. Here and here. I suppose as we're heading, could I keep an ear out? Because there was a hag in this house, at least before.
Please give me a perception check.
It was so close to being decent. 13.
That's still decent.
I have a +9, man.
I know.
It could
I'm
be
looking
more
at
decent.
it.
Wow.
And you listen carefully, and Papa Dragon with the nat 20.
Nicely done.
You do not hear any noise from within the house, except perhaps the slight creak of vegetation as your eyes drawn towards the cocoon of vines and flowers, highly, highly reminiscent of your hair-bound companion.
Willie will look up at the surrounding trees that are separate from the cottage and see if there's any wind associated with the movement in the vegetation.
Nothing stirs.
Corey is going to start taking slow, gentle steps forward. Trying to keeping probably her eyes trained on that flowering mass. And really, depending on how perceptive you are, you may be hearing her going, "Darling, is that you? You all right? This is very strange for me. You're normally right here. Oh, is that you?"
When Corey bisects the distance between where they started and the cottage is about halfway there, Willie will reach down and find a convenient half a golf ball sized stone and lob it into the plants that surround the cottage to see if there's a reaction.
Okay. No reaction to the stone. But as Corey continues forward, there is a sudden writhing and shifting, and the vines and flowers shrink away from you.
From me?
Yes. Up onto the roof, around the sides of the cottage, leaving the front bare.
Insight, are they shrinking away because they're making access easier, or does it seem that they're shrinking away like they're recoiling in disgust or fright?
Difficult to gauge from plants.
Okay. Where's a ranger with speak with plants when you need him?
Not me, alas. But that would have been very convenient now that I think about it.
Do they count as
I
plants?
think-
What is their creature type.
I mean, technically, no. But their effect is on plants, right?
Hardcore aberration.
Hardcore aberration. I think she sees like the thing just like, are you sulking? Did I do something wrong?
No reply. But as they shrink back, you do see that the awning over the porch is rotted and partially collapsed when it was fully intact when you were here just yesterday, for all you're aware of. Parts of it have fallen, littering the porch with debris. But it looks structurally sound enough.
Willie will draw abreast of Kore. What do you think? Should we approach and see what lies inside the cottage?
Well, time is rather weird in these parts, and apparently this is one of those scenarios. I think it's better to... where else is there? She looks over at the woods. It doesn't feel like there's much else, honestly. I can't hear anything. I can't hear any birds or anything, right?
No.
It's just still?
Dead still.
I think this is where we probably would need to be. I'd like to just, as I'm approaching, I'd like to approach very carefully with my background and knowledge and sort of tracking skills. Can I identify if there is any remains of anybody who has come through here?
Sure. Please make a survival check.
Much better. That is a 25.
Nice. There are remarkably no tracks other than your own and the path that you've taken from where you appeared towards the front gate of the small kitchen garden.
Question. From when we were there before, what was the approximate distance from the front door of Grandmother's cottage to where the ground started to become inundated from the wells?
About 40 feet.
Willie will head back in the direction that 40, 50 feet and lean down and test the moisture in the soil to see if it's still soggy and moist or if it's dry.
You turn to do that. The trees... You're about 20 foot from the cottage at the moment, and the trees are immediately behind you.
Oh. We are in some sort of oubliette. I think the way out is forward.
Do you want to take my hand? You don't need to worry about thorns this time, I guess.
Consider this, Corey. Where we are, the rule of three. We dealt with the hag in the present. Now we see the future. So we must keep in mind that at some point we are going to have to address the past. Let us head into the cottage.
But would you like to take my hand, or are you going to be, in case they try to separate us? They've already separated 2 away.
Yeah. I grab the belt loop. I take her hand. Really take her hand.
As you like go to take her hand, I have to ask, do I feel free of all effects of my hand?
Yes.
I think when you go to take her hand and she grips it, she's like pauses for a second. And she goes and she takes your hand, but she doesn't feel like she understands like her own anatomy all of a sudden. Like, that's not quite right. Like, if you've been wearing a watch every single day for all of your life, and then suddenly you've forgotten it one day, like the absence, she's making that, hang on, what? Kind of face. And her eyes probably glow a little bit less than they used to.
Okay.
Understood. I sensed that something about you is, well, it's rather obvious. Your hair, your coif is not what it was. Don't worry. We will solve this. Remember, we must think happy thoughts.
I'll try.
Steal yourself. And Willie will start to step forward, tugging on Corey's hand, heading towards the
Right.
door of Grandmother's cottage.
Do we knock? I mean,
So-
When we
You-
get up to the cottage,
Yes.
is there a post on the awning?
It's like a triangle support to the wall.
All right. Willie will take his dagger out and just put the tip of it into the wood to see how far it sinks, to see how rotten the wood is.
It's rotten but dry, so it just kind of snaps and brittly breaks off.
Okay. Okay. So this is sometime. Definitely sometime. All right.
yes.
Unfortunately, there's no wildlife here. If this is a different situation, I would have had a sentient woodworm come out and say, "Hey, I live here."
Excuse me, rude.
I come around and stab your house.
Kept on going that way. Would have gone straight on to the castle. Come on in, have a cuppa, meet the missus.
Meet the
All right,
missus. Oh god, I love a labyrinth.
Knock on the door. Knock on the
Donk,
door.
donk, donk. Hello.
It swings open and creaks on its hinges. Thank you.
Oh, that's concerning.
And the interior.
The interior is in disarray. There is a large black scorch mark that extends out from the fireplace, and shelves of pots and pans have been overturned. A hay mattress on a wooden bed frame, seemingly the original furniture of the cottage and not returned to Mudchuckle, is torn apart as if wildlife has gotten at it. And rain has come through a leak in the ceiling, causing part of the floor to look rotten and unstable. The only thing that appears to still be in good shape is a large oak chest, right where a table used to be. A large oak chest which moved and snapped at your shins last time you were here.
Hello. Hello.
No answer.
Willie will put his arm out and block the doorway so Corey can't enter. Pause a moment, Corey. Let us take in this scene to see if we can determine what happened here. Being a trained investigator, I would like to roll an investigation from the doorway, specifically focusing on the fire mark and the damage done to determine if, like, the fire and the damage were two parts, like an act of violence, like someone kicked the fire out from the hearth, or if it was like an explosion, to try and get a story of what has happened.
Please.
How about a 21?
Okay. Yeah, definitely from the shape of the scorch mark and the way it kind of streaks, it looks like something in the fireplace exploded.
Are there
I
any
think-
footprints in the soot that we
No.
can see?
No, there are not.
I think Corey shakes herself a little bit, like kind of straightens herself up and like, pull yourself together, woman. You're a strong, independent lady. And tries to identify, like you said that the bed had been torn apart as if by wild animals, right?
Mhm.
Is there trails, because this place has been relatively untouched, is there trails of that hay across the floor in any of the directions? Like something was summoned and attacked something in bed. Is there blood? Is there anything like that?
There are a couple of stray pieces, but it looks like it was attacked and, like ransacked for nesting material by various animals. And
So,
the that has all been taken away and used, so it wasn't, none was left behind, just a couple of tiny little pieces. And the way the stuffing is coming out of the holes and rents in the material, it looks like it was been broken into and then yanked out, like by beaks or
Okay.
claws or whatever.
What is the overall odor of the cottage? Is it like fecal? Is it rot? Is it mold? Is it damp?
Dry.
Alchemical.
Oh, chemical.
Alchemical.
There's a nasty, bitter kind of back of the throat catching edge to the air.
Do I
Alright.
recognize the smell?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
It's
Well,
not
there's-
really natural.
While they're standing in the doorway, Willie will take out his light crossbow and cock it, put one of those metallic bolts into it, and point it at the chest and just let fly just to see if the chest reacts to being shot.
Okay.
Got me to roll an attack?
That's okay.
All right.
You have the time to line it up and rest yourself against the door frame, and the crossbow bolt thuds home into the chest, and there's no reaction.
I think it is safe to enter. You first.
I see. So taking charge when it comes to observing. And she is going to, but she is nervous. Like, for that, despite the fact she's giving you sass, she is like cautiously stepping past you. She also has her crossbow like prepared and ready if she enters combat. Actually, we have our crossbows and our weapons on us?
Yes.
Okay. And as she approaches the chest, is there anything on the doorframe above her as she enters in?
No.
Anything on the ceiling?
Mm.
All right. As she approaches the chest,
Willie reloads
Okay.
and draws his dagger while she moves in.
and
Okay.
she prepares to pull the crossbow bolt out.
Well, before you do that, as you move into the space and go towards the chest, you can see past it to the other side, and you can see a long tongue lolling out from the gap between the lid and the body of the chest, unmoving, cold, grey, lifeless.
Long dead.
Looks like it. As this was a mimic puppet dragon, as before. When you last were here, it was a relatively tame mimic.
Pet mimic.
Grumpy, if not deadly.
Oh.
But it
Poor
does
thing.
appear to, yes. And as you go to investigate, you see that the tongue, whilst it looks like the various taste buds and kind of like the kind of little texture of a tongue on top, but it looks to be more like a porous rock now.
Oh, like volcanic stone?
Almost, yeah, like that kind of
Oh,
pumice,
right.
pumice, yeah. And you see that this mimic has semi-petrified. There is
Petrified.
some give to it, but it has started to become stone.
Oh. Well, it appears to be dead and rocky. I suppose. I suppose I investigate the chest.
Okay.
Willie will follow up behind her, hearing this information, and focus on the tongue. I'll sheath my dagger, and he pulls out his magnifying glass, and will use a medicine check to see if he can determine cause of death.
Please. Hey, someplace, how you doing? Long
How
time no
about a
see.
17?
Not bad at all. You look carefully at the creature, and some massive magical effect just destroyed this thing. As far as its life force is concerned, but there is no physical damage apart from the slight
For
petrification.
Corey, it was an 18 to investigate.
Just
the
the
mimic
chest,
envelope.
or like, are we looking at the room?
I'd like to do, if Villy is handling the chest, if there was any moving parts, I would have liked to investigate the chest, but the room is also on the table. Because, well, there's no table anymore, but you know what I mean.
In what order? Sorry, you're just checking the room first, or focusing on the chest?
Well, if Villy's kind of gone ahead to check out the chest. I think I'm going to, because I'm still looking for my companion. So I'm probably going to look around the cottage, actually. Because I'm trying to find signs of them.
Okay. On the interior, there's nothing. There's no signs of those vines or things reaching through into the space from outside. They just seem to be clinging to the exterior. And you remember last time you entered into this hut, your companion was unable to enter.
Yeah. Alright. And is there any signs of, like... I suppose, is there any signs of something, aside from the entire place being off, is there any signs of, like, potentially an escape route? Or, like, a tunnel in the floors? Or...
I mean, there are the 2 windows at the front of the building.
okay.
But, and then the door itself, but no other extra exits or anything. But you do, as you're kind of poking through the rubble and the detritus here in the cottage, you find an intact healer's kit.
I take that.
Okay.
If I can.
Please.
And
yeah, you take the healer's kit. Has various medicinal herbs and salves tucked away in it.
Nice.
It's dusty and discolored from age and being sat here in the relative exposure of the dilapidated cottage, but it is usable.
Okay.
And as you continue looking around, you do notice beneath the hay mattress, as you were investigating for the way it had been attacked by animals, there is a loose panel on the framework of the bed, and inside there is a rough, very old, like elderly, leather-bound notebook.
I pull that out.
Okay, and yeah, inside there are all sorts of things that you recognize, a lot of things that you already know about medicinal herbs and other things available here in the Fey Forests, and other things that you're not more familiar with, a bunch of alchemical equations and formulae jotted around, and ideas and things, and
Do
musings.
any of them seem to relate to petrification, or?
It would take
Fire?
a while to look at it properly.
Okay. Right. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Willie is
yes.
going to make an Arcana check to see if he, in his training and experience, can recall a spell or effect that would have this, short of like a petrification spell, on the mimic. And then after that, we'll move to the hearth and start searching at the back of the hearth on the smoke shelf and stuff to see if there are any traces of any kind of like calcified or remnants of any sort of chemical residue from like a burn, anything like that. And then would also like to look at the suit and the blast radius to see if the mimic is within range of what exploded from the hearth. So what rolls would you like me to make? Firstly, an Arcana, I assume.
Let's see here. You do see that the mimic, as was, the deceased mimic, is right at the focal point of that scorch mark.
Okay.
As if the explosive effect burst out and stopped just short of the mimic. But maybe whatever happened to whoever was working at the fireplace was the main effect of it, and then this was what happened, because it was just on the edge.
All right. And then searching the smoke shelf, do I see any residue, and do I recall any kind of spell with the Arcana check, which was a 16.
It is excuse me. It is too old.
No problem.
I'm afraid. Are you going back to check out the chest?
Yeah. We'll go back and try and lift the head. Look inside.
Yeah, and it's heavier than you would expect. Again, partly calcified, and you start to open it up, and it kind of protests and creaks on its hinges, and the interior is revealed. There are multiple racks with a number of different reagents tucked away within them. And all sorts of alchemists' supplies, it seems, like stowed away inside here. A lot of it seems fairly normal, and things you would expect. But there are 5 vials that catch your eye that you're unable to guess at what they might be. One's blue, one is red, one is green, one is violet, and one is silver. And there's also a note tucked beneath them.
Back to the rune keeper. I read the note. Explosive rune. Roll dex.
It seems to be a recipe.
Yeah.
If you click on the magnifying glass, that gets a bit bigger. Sorry, folks back home, it's still not big enough to read pretty easily.
Red must be added before blue. Green is either first or last. If silver is not lost, it's third. Violet cannot be first, but must be added before silver. Blue must be added a second last. Green must be added either immediately before or immediately after blue.
Okay. Okay. Blue must be second. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Second last.
Yeah. Blue. And then
red must be
green-
added before blue.
Green is neither first nor last, so it might be second or third.
Let me put this in chat as well for anyone who wants to play along at home.
Violet cannot be added first, but must be added before silver. Okay, so
If silver is not lost, it's third. Is also something written.
unless it's third. Yep, it's gonna be third. So that's gonna mean red will be first. And then green will be second, and then that makes green, violet, silver. It's not last. Oh wait, no. Okay, there's.
I want
Did we have a
want
silver
chat-
file?
I want
I
chat.
screwed myself
Yeah,
up.
there is a silver one. Yeah, I want chat to have the chance to play along as well. So don't look at chat for a while.
Okay.
I-
So they can post their ideas.
Okay, so
My brain does not have enough coffee to be able to deal with this right now. With the notes that I have, as like, because I'm only hearing what's going on in the background, right? As I've got this book in my hands, I turn around and I go, Lily, they seem to have been working on some kind of alchemical. Oh, so that's what the interior of a mimic looks like. Comes over, sees Billy scrolling, and then attempts to help.
got it.
Yep.
Got it.
You sure?
Yeah, reasonably certain.
Do we know
yep.
what it makes?
Red, violet, silver, blue, green.
But do we know what it makes?
I am not an alchemist.
I
Arcana
bring up
check
the book.
to. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's look through the book.
Well, it appears that whoever slept on that bed might have been. Do you want to double check and see if we're not just making another explosion?
Absolutely. I will read through the book, seeing if I can identify a similar description of a recipe.
The two of you look through the alchemical notes and musings, and it seems that grandmother was looking to preserve her vitality and health, and thought she had discovered a combination of reagents that could potentially produce healing potions without the normal magical means.
Oh.
That's good and all. I wonder what these are. If they're
Well-
not magical.
There's only one way to find out, Corey.
Is there a cauldron?
You read my
Do
mind.
we need fire?
One would assume
Should I
with the
make a
direction-
fire?
Make a fire. Yeah.
Alright. I
While
take
she's-
some of the straw from the bed to use for kindling and start fire making.
Okay. Yep, you have a tinderbox, don't you? So.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, you kindle a fire in the hearth, and
Well, she's building the fire. Willie's rooting through the detritus and debris, looking for a serviceable cauldron.
okay. Some of the pots and pans that are scattered about the place are still serviceable, and there is a soot-blackened hook in the chimney above where the flames are being kindled.
All right.
I think as Corey is like preparing the fire and before she starts the match, she goes, "Darling, can I have a..." Oh, right. Ignore me. And very shakily goes to strike and start the fire. Where are you?
When the fire is burning enough to warm the cauldron or the pot, Willie will set it up on the hook and I am thinking for your own safety, you might want to step over into the other corner.
She grabs a frying pan to just cover your face at least, dear.
Yeah. Holding the frying pan, Willie will unstopper the red and give it a gentle waft to see if there are any notes that might give him any indication of what it is.
It is a smell you have never experienced.
What is
Can I
fruit
smell it?
punch? Tutti frutti. All right.
Cordial. This is cordial.
Reggae punch.
All right.
What is it? The
Wi-
blue is just Ramune.
Hang on, I think I have something with a cauldron.
Okay.
Willie
This is-
will.
This is from a Halloween one shot I did 3 years ago.
Nice. Classic.
I'm waiting for a pop up.
Tiens. Tiens.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Get that cauldron bubbling.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect.
Nice.
Oh, as in Sirenscape, yes, not on Roll20.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Like the bubbles.
Willie will well, here goes nothing, and pour the red vial into the cauldron, and wait momentarily for a reaction.
Okay.
Nothing. Then
The red
will
on its own does not seem to do anything, no.
he will unstopper violet, just give it a quick, and pour it in as
There's
well.
a sharply sour smell to it. And as the violet hits the red, they swirl unnaturally, clockwise and counterclockwise, spiraling through each other like flavors in ice cream, kind of like rippled through it, spiraled through it, before it gets, served up. And they continue spiraling, almost in an almost hypnotic pattern. You kind of have to like shake and tear your eyes away.
He will unstopper the silver vial and think about a schoolmate of his, Potter, who always stirred everything 3 times counterclockwise, and pour the silver vial in.
Okay. A sharp tang of peppermint as you unstopper that one. And a frothy foam builds up on the surface of the potion and rises up and up and up the cauldron almost to the lip before subsiding down. And you see that the contents has gone a slightly pearlescent pink.
So far, so good. All right.
Yes.
We are 60% successful. Let us add the
60%
blue.
is nice.
Yeah. It's good odds.
Yes, it is. During this, like, Corey has been nervously clacking her abacus, like, counting through percentages. It's like, we're still good. We're still good.
The
Yeah.
blue is uncorked, and there is the waft of the ocean, but unfortunately, the rotting seaweed and stranded at low tide dead jellyfish and the like smell.
Oh, I knows this one. Udakua, and we'll pour it in.
Oh, lovely.
And as you do, the color changes to a kind of darker, kind of purpley color, and the surface ripples like waves on the ocean, just going out to the sides and then back and swirling around, and then settles.
All right, with the frying pan, uncork green.
A strong pine smell,
Classic.
like mountain forests.
Good for the carriage. And we'll pour the green into the cauldron.
As you do, it starts to bubble. And
From behind
roil,
the...
as if a slow boil is slowly reaching that perfect temperature as large bubbles break on the surface and the liquid rises up and rolls over and turns over in the surface. It starts to rise up the interior of the cauldron. Again, still bubbling and roiling. And as you look into its depths, you see strange shapes, like some sort of strange, twisted, tadpole-like shadows, writhing and moving around in the liquid. And as it rises up towards the lip of the cauldron, you see a sudden flash of color as it turns a bright, bright red. The color you've seen before in more traditional healing potions.
Oh,
And
Blair, did you summon a demon? Is everything alright?
it slowly subsides down back into the cauldron.
Willie will take it off the fire and put it on the table to cool, and go back to the chest and look for empty vials. About how much did we prepare?
As the potion is completed, vapors rise up off the makeshift cauldron, and a calming air falls upon the hut, the cottage. And as you breathe a sigh of relief, seemingly successful, as was chat as well. Congratulations, everyone.
Good job.
You feel a sense of calm and a feeling just on the tip of memory and weighing soothingly on the chest, as if a mistake from long ago has been made right. And as you look around the huts, you do find several containers, all sorts of things, some with the dusty remnants of whatever had been stored in them before that needed to be emptied out. But
This is poison.
you divvy it up into the equivalent of 4 regular healing potions.
Woohoo!
Willie will like
Hey,
swirl
Pesci,
the
how you doing,
contents of one vial, and it's like, well, considering the fact that I am still battered from the beating we took with those strange devilkin and their screechingness, only one way to be sure. Bottoms up, and we'll quaff the potion.
Alright.
Is a regular 4d4 plus 4?
2d4 plus
4.
2.
2d4 plus 2.
2 right? 2d4 plus 2, right? Okay.
I'll take the 44 plus 4.
That's good. Let's
It's
go with that one.
It's a regular, sorry, it's a regular. But it is a healing potion.
We shouldn't have corrected him.
Alright, roll. Oh,
Papa Dragon,
nice.
I would have liked to play out your combination.
I rolled a 6, so that's 8. So very nice. That puts
Nice.
me back to almost full.
Excellent.
Nice.
Woo! And we have 3 potions of healing. Willie will stopper them up, hand one to Corey, and hold
Thank
the
you.
other 2, and like, for our companions, since I have consumed mine share. Strawberry.
Oh. Do they normally taste like strawberry?
Only the best ones.
Who knew seawater turned to this?
It is a most unusual process for deriving at these potions. It would be interesting to know what the contents of those vials were. I was unable to identify them by the odors. I am wondering,
I mean,
maybe
book.
in the yeah. I have an interest in books. If I might take possession of it,
yes,
Corey?
no, that's fine. I would say that if you'd let me have a wee squiz at it every now and then when I'm trying to mix up some local flora and or fauna, that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
But this is one element. We still don't know where our companions are, though everything seems a bit calmer now. Can I look out the window? Has anything changed?
If you look out the window, you see the same scene you did before. The forest closer than it had been when you first visited this cottage.
Okay. Doesn't seem too different outside, though we haven't taken a step out. Should we...
There are no just regular potions of healing. On D&D Beyond, I have Greater, Superior, and Supreme. So
Dang.
Right.
Okay, Papa wants to know what would have happened if we'd done his potion. Green, violet, silver, red, and blue. Hang on, let's see. So that's green, violet, silver, red, and blue. Okay. That is 2 in the correct order, Papa Dragon. So, if you had mixed in that order, the cauldron would have overflown with a flammable gas that immediately ignited from the flame beneath. The creature
Okay.
mixing the potion and anyone else within 5 feet of the cauldron would have had to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or taken 4d6 fire damage. Or half on a success.
Thank you for getting that right.
If you just do it, if you get none in the correct order somehow, or which some of the hints were very, very blatant, so I'm not sure how you would manage that. But or if you just did it in a random order, just randomly threw them in there, the worst effects from like only one correct would have happened, which is pretty nasty. There's some nasty poison damage coming out of that, and the ghost of grandmother would have come and haunted the cottage and attacked you as a spectre.
Well, that didn't happen, thank goodness.
Nasty beasts. And Papa's like, yes, blow it up.
All right.
So yes, somewhere in an alternative world, Papa Dragon's character is trying to run from the cottage as this flame, as their clothes are on fire.
Action movie style, slow motion.
And there is a new scorch mark on the floor.
That said, the
Hey,
potion's
Roberts.
being created. Willie will turn towards rooting through all the debris and whatnot to see what sort of personal effects are left, to see if grandmother was driven or just left, and like, well, I've blown my house up, time to move on.
Whoops. No more house.
Right?
Apart from the medicinal supplies, the journal, and the alchemical supplies, and then everything else is just rusted and beat up pots and just general random stuff.
So there's no evidence, like you have mentioned that there is no trace of anyone, right? But there's no trace that is there traces that someone was there and then suddenly disappeared? Or is it there are traces of someone has taken their items and left?
I would say it's hard to tell, because it was so hard to tell what was grandmother's when you were here before, because all of the magical
That's
stuff was here. Like
That's
a whole town's belongings were crammed into the hut before.
Alright, well. So we've corrected this. They said regret when they sprinkled us with it, with dust and such. If we've had a light sprinkling of regret, is this all the regret there is, or?
I'm not sure. I mean, when I successfully completed concocting the potions, there was a lightning, as though a previous error had been corrected. That feeling of relief, knowing that a mistake had been rectified. But I am thinking, and pardon me for being too cynical, but this just seems too simple of a puzzle. Something else has happened here that we must solve. I mean, if you look outside, you see the trees are still barring our way. That to me is an indicator that we still have work to do.
I agree. I'd like to step outside of the cottage and see if any of the flora are still pulling away from me.
Willie, you watch as Corey steps to the door, crosses the threshold, stumbles, her knees buckle,
Ow!
and she dissipates into mist as she falls. And is gone.
Willie loots the alchemical chest for everything of value.
Noted.
Nice.
He's just like, yeah, nobody's going to judge me now.
Oh, she wasn't gonna judge.
And then, continually looking over his shoulder at the doorway, will spend a quick 2-3 minutes rooting around to see if there's anything of additional value or use, realizing that we've got to grab the opportunity while we have it. So, would you prefer an investigation while he just does a quick cursory search, or does it seem like the place has already been successfully looted?
Corey spent a good deal of time looking around the whole place and found various hidden things before.
Okay. I had to come to the Feywild. I couldn't have been a clockmaker like my papa. My God. Willie will make that sign of warding against bad luck and step through the doorway with his eyes closed, kind of like, oh, I am going to regret this. And we'll step through the doorway.
You feel a dizzying sensation and lose your footing, as if the ground is falling away from you. And darkness takes you.
Oh no.
As the two of you become aware once more of your surroundings, you are back in what appears to be the forest of Hither. There's no sign of the boardwalk, of Brigand's Tollway. There is no water, just the fetid, muddy ground of the immediate time after the floodwaters have receded.
Mm.
And you can hear the wildlife around you, almost cacophonous against the silence of the cottage glade that you were taken to. And as you...
Does Willie need to pee?
Not particularly. But you both stand up with ease, as you are so
Without her.
much lighter.
Yeah, figured.
You have your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You have a medicine kit. You have 3 potions of healing. You have some alchemical supplies. Granny's journal. And nothing else.
Before,
Scheiße, du hast meine Hinterpuppen!
honestly, before she
I don't think
stood
pooping is
up,
German.
before she stood up, I think Chloe took a deep breath and felt the mud beneath her thing. Do I feel my companion?
You are almost throttled by the exuberant
Ow!
flourishing of vines and flowers, and the scent is overwhelming as you return with your companion safely back amidst your hair, it seems.
Willie is twitching with rage. Just this...
Whilst you're angry, I think Chloe...
bright red.
Corey, you can
Is
look
my
over
mask still on?
yeah, you have all your clothes, yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, hello!
Whoa!
Raiders, welcome in. How you
Hi.
doing? Hops and
Hey.
Dragons, good to see you, my friends. I hope you had a
Hey,
fantastic
that's the
session. Good to see you again. The second raid this week, kind of, as Hops and Dragons was guesting over on AJ Winters when they came raiding the other day. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Hope you had a fantastic time. Absolute pleasure, as always. I hope you had a fab session. Let's see what they were up to. Hops and the Dragons. Ha! Hey, Crimson. Some Dungeons and Dragons, of course. I hope you had a fantastic session. Thanks for the follow, Teza. How's everyone doing? Hope you had a great time. Do jump on in if you would like. Yes, mature German warning. I think this is the Sunblighters reference. Butts. Ah, look at those beautiful. Are these Hops and Dragons? Are these the ones created by Kaz? I think these are the
like
stickers
them.
made by Kaz the DM.
Kaz DM's lovely.
He is. Another upcoming one-shot roulette guest in the future. Oh, not these ones. Okay.
Hi.
I know, because I know you made stickers together. I wasn't sure if it was these ones or not. After the emotes. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gotcha.
They're fab. They are fab emotes too. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And a proper hello to Peshy. How you doing, Tales of Pesh? Everyone, please follow Tales of Pesh and their fantastic YouTube channel if you want to get some awesome Eberron lore in your bonce, which means your head.
Yes.
Everyone, we have a giveaway on the way. You can win the Fantastic Encounters in the Feywild from CZRPG. ! Enter to get your chance to win. Of course, Hops and Dragons, you're wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
Giveaway. Oh, GF Powers, thank you so much. 100 butts to butts. Butts to butts
100
bits.
butts to butts bits.
Butts to butts bits. Fun to say. And lovely to receive. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome in. Hope you're doing very, very well. Our adventurers here have been whisked away to a strange, otherworldly, dilapidated hag's cottage where they had once travelled before, but this seemed to be many years later as they arrived there. They solved the riddle and were able to return to the Feywild, but in their unconscious state, whilst they were off tripping with the fairies, the Harangon bandits stole
They've got my abacus.
all your stuff.
They've got my abacus.
They
your
have my
abacus.
T-ball.
They do.
They do.
Everything except what you got in the cottage, which is mysteriously with you now.
I think before she realizes everything's gone, she's going to hold whatever brambles, whatever. I'm under the get. I'm thinking peony. I'm thinking like maiden flower, just like right to her face, and goes. Oddly enough, I missed you too. I've been robbed, haven't I?
And the plant growth bristles in anger.
Oh, not while you're against my face. That's rude.
And you look around you, and the forest is close in, and close in around you. It's difficult to figure out exactly where in hither you are, be it top, bottom, left, or right. You're not quite sure, but as you look about, there is a shuddering.
Hell?
And the sound of crashing timber and bearing into view over the treetops around you. Yes, you do suddenly fall into the shadow of Telemy Hill as the vast, wandering hill comes ponderously into sight.
Breathe. Breathe, Lily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about it this way. Now I definitely have an excuse to kill them.
Oh, you have a excuse. I easily have several dozen.
My abacus was definitely worth at least 10 pairs of ears.
Well, I think we should go to this hill as long as it is. There's a mountain to Muhammad joke in here, but as long as the mountain has come to us. But Willie will open up the alchemical notebook and start leafing through it, seeing if there's anything about rabbit poison.
You walk into a tree. Don't walk and read.
He'll
grabs the collar. All right, this way.
Staring.
If we cannot find our companions, we might as well find, debatably, assistance.
Yeah. We must, for we are weaponless, we are coinless, we have no supplies, and I don't even have the blankets they gave me in Mudchuckle. Scheiße.
Well, I mean, leaves make for decent blankets. They're large enough here. She gestures to like a big bright pink frond that's been sagged away.
Yeah. Let us head into this hill and see if we can find this goblin. As long as we are here.
Now, Corey, as you remember, Telemy Hill is an ancient Fey entity.
Yes.
This sentient hill that travels throughout the Feywild and happens to be here when the contents of Prismere was trapped behind these walls of magical mist. Sometimes it would even visit the material plane.
Yes.
And you know from the lore behind this location and the speaking, the things you've heard about it. It interacts with others by way of the willow trees that grow on its slopes.
I would like to, let's see, where's the willow tree? Can I see the willow trees, or is it just walking past?
As it comes into view, the slopes of the hill are covered with these beautiful swaying willow trees as they gently rock in the lumbering motion of the hill. But it's quite a distance away. You're going to have to go towards it.
We're going to have to run. All right. Come on. Legs up. You were, if I recall correctly, and she's in a better mood, significantly. She doesn't have her crossbow or any of her supplies, but she's still a bit happier because she's got her companion back. though she's trying to be like cool and it's just like it's not like I wanted to be friends with you or anything, but no, she really genuinely did. But I think she's more cool with the lack of possessions, I think, than maybe Lily is, because she's used to surviving.
I am used to sleeping in feather beds and comfortable inns with a regular dinner time. This place sucks.
You know. Well, it doesn't normally suck, it's just sucking now. And if I recall correctly, someone mentioned that we should moderate our mood accordingly. Remember?
Yes, you do see
Find joy in peace.
the wildlife around Willy is looking particularly jagged and thorny.
And I think contrastingly, because Corey is deeply so much happier because she's been reunited, it's just like, bing!
Yeah,
Flowers.
indeed. So yeah, just look at this little this little tableau here of this, just got these vast, nasty, barbed, thorny vines snaking up out of the mud behind Willy's footsteps. Every footprint he makes boils up in this nasty, tangled mess, and everywhere Corey goes, there's just a scattering of petals that just like behind her.
It's like Orin Host Club's Tamaki Sumo Floor.
I just want to say, this is session 10 of this campaign, and this is also the 10th session in which the GD Feywild has stolen something from Willy. Getting sick of the face. I am not liking this place. All right, I will Willy follows Corey, and he is going to make a concerted effort to try and think of the positives. Like maybe it was a trade. I got this new interesting book I have not read. An alchemical surprise. Maybe it is a time to start a career change. But to
Have you
learn how to make
considered alchemy?
rabbit poison. It's what?
Have you considered alchemy, even if it is alchemically killing rabbits?
I am suddenly feeling a new passion for the line of study and inquiry.
If you need any help with poisons, just give a girl a holler. I know more poisonous plants than I could, poke a stick at.
Yeah. Hold on. We're getting corrected that they traded. It's like, no, the Herringon here, they steal. They are.
Yes, they do.
Indeed.
They are thieves.
They are.
Right.
No rule of 3 for them.
Rogues and bandits.
Yeah,
Rogues
if what they traded for all of our gear was burning hatred, then they were successful.
I think Claria's got a little bit of a spring in her step, honestly. It's just like, I think she goes, while we're going along, and she's kind of like semi-dragging Lily, because it's just like, I don't know if you've ever outrun a mountain, but come on. There is like an essence to her of, so what happened to you? Like, she's turning like inquisitively to her hair, like, I thought you were an all-powerful being. This is rather different.
Your hair got inceptioned.
Mm-hmm.
So, how fast is Telemy Hill heading away from us? Are we able to catch up?
But yeah, easily. It is very ponderous.
All right. We'll move there directly with some measure of alacrity.
Okay. And yes, you do catch up with the ponderous movement. And as it senses people coming towards it, or beings coming towards it in a purposeful manner, there is a massive whoosh and a huge wash of air as it just settles down into the mud. As the fetid swamp air just gets blasted past you, as all the air that was underneath it gets forced out. And it sits awaiting you.
Thank you. Corey is going to approach. Maybe hop on? There's someone we need to talk to.
The rather unpleasant swamp air being rushed past you is very quickly made up for, whoosh indeed, as you clamber up onto its slopes, you are greeted by the scent of sweet-smelling fruit.
Oh, thank goodness.
Damp, downy, silvery green moss blankets a gentle upward slope before giving way to a craggy ridge that marks the top of the hill. Dozens and dozens of enormous willow trees dot the hillside, swaying as though in a breeze, despite the absence of one.
Are they swaying with the movement of the mountain, or do they seem to be alive?
They were, but now the mountain is not moving and they are still swaying.
Oh. To climb the mountain and the path up to, like, where the craggy rocks are, I assume it requires that we pass underneath the trees?
No, they're about as spaced out as they are on the image itself. They're not, it's not a dense forest.
Willie will give them a wide berth.
Oh, it's just how the hill communicates, really.
Oh, well, what is it telling us then, Corey?
Honestly, I don't know. How are you, Ptolemy?
So the two of you start making your way up this, fairly clear path that is winding up the hillside there, next to Corey's token. And, let's see here. I should use the green one. Oh, just a single willow tree uproots itself and comes stalking towards you. Its long fronds swaying this way and that. And as it steps in front of you, as you're making your way up the hill, it plunks down, its roots burrowing into the soil, and a knothole on the side starts to move as it addresses you. And the long fronds come down in front of it like some teenager's hair.
It's a punk ass tree.
It is. Sorry, I don't have a willow one, but this will do.
No.
What
Greetings.
brings you to Tellermy Hill?
We're seeking a key. You see, we've gotten a lot of things stolen from us.
You've come to the right place. There are many, many keys. It is quite a hobby for little Jingle Jangle.
Jingle jangle.
Jingle Jangle.
May I inquire as to who they are?
Jingle Jangle. Oh, I disappeared. Oh, I'm back. Hello. Jingle Jangle is the little goblin friend of ours. They live up there in the very on-the-nose keyhole-shaped cave.
Oh. Did they make that keyhole cave themselves, or did you do a bit of a makeover?
I was doing some serious photosynthesis at the time. I didn't notice. One day it was here, the other day it was not there. But it's here now, and Jingle Jangle's here now, and you're here now.
Yes. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've heard
And
many
yours.
things about you.
Be nice to Jingle Jangle or we'll tear you to pieces.
That's fair. Are they a tenant, or are you kind of mutual friends?
Friends? Are you friends?
I'd like to be.
We prefer it that way too. But we'll do what's
Maybe.
needed.
Hmm.
You can
you-
leave. You can leave here as friends, or you could stay here as fertilizer.
Ah, thank you for being honest. Blood
Just-
and bone do make good.
Indeed, indeed. But we will not take without permission.
Thank
If you have any spare bones.
Oh, I used to. Unfortunately, they were taken from me without permission. I know, right?
You're an
Hmm.
interesting one, and you. Do you have any trees in the family? Cousins or
Oh,
second
this
cousins?
is a blessing, apparently. This is
Indeed.
a gift.
Oh, a wondrous gift indeed. You have leaves and flowers.
Yes.
I remember I used to flower like that when I was more of a sapling.
Oh, pish posh, you definitely can still flower.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not depressed about it. I just droop like this naturally.
That's fair.
People misinterpret our mood all the time.
Oh, I understand completely.
Now, are you off up the hill?
Yes, if that's all right with you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Just remember, if anything happens to Jingle Jangle, it'll be the last climb you ever make.
That's fair. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Willie will bow and just kind of follow Corey, keeping an eye on the talking tree and just not commenting on what the hell was that?
Oh, they're planning on killing us if we do anything to their friend. Apparently, the Sven has very much ingratiated themselves within Telemy's presence.
It is interesting that they feel it necessary to warn visitors against behaving in uncivilized ways. It makes one think, what is exactly going on here?
Well, they were honest, and blood and bone do make for excellent fertilizer.
Yeah. My mama uses it in the garden for growing her rutabagas and eggplants for the dinners. But let us go up to this cave. See
Also,
what this.
Corey, you know that was Telemy talking, not the tree.
Yes. Oh, yes. That was the hill itself. All the trees are telling me. And the hill is telling me. And the rocks are telling me. The only one that's not telling me is what has been left here or Jingle Jangle.
So what you are saying is we are climbing a mountain like ticks on a dog. I understand. We must
Well,
be.
we're not quite jumpy, unless
There's
you
a
are.
there's a gentle push, and you see that a bunch of the willows have come in behind you, and they're just gently pushing you forward with their branches.
Thank you.
We must move before the hill decides to scratch us.
Oh, it won't scratch us unless we do anything.
Yeah. Willie will walk purposefully towards the keyhole in the cave.
Okay. You clamber up through the curious and attentive willow trees
Tonk,
until
tonk.
the moss starts to thin and rock starts to show through the surface, until giving way completely to stony steps leading up to the cave mouth at the top of Telemy Hill.
Have the willow trees followed us up the steps, or are they
No,
staying?
they don't. Yeah, they don't go beyond the mossy ground.
Fascinating. Are there any rocks that seem to be turning their heads in that direction?
No. And Corey, you would know from your experience of awakened trees, if they wanted to, they could fall onto the rock. But
Oh, yeah.
there's no need to at the moment.
All right. Interesting.
Okay.
I'd like to keep an eye out.
So did you ask about Jingle Jangle?
Yes.
Right, yeah, so they had more information to give than I gave, sorry. So the tree told you that she loves collecting keys and talks about them incessantly. And her name is derived from the fact that she wears a coat covered in keys that jingle and jangle as she moves about. And you hear they get quite bristly and angry about the fact that 3 days ago, while she was rooting in the swamp for truffles, she was attacked and robbed by brigands. And she hasn't left the cave since coming back that day. And
Oh dear.
they're quite worried that she must be very hungry by this point. Sorry, I missed that before.
Okay. As we go up the hill, Corey is going to cast Good Fairy.
Okay. Nice. And you clamber up the last of the worn steps to the entrance of the cave and see almost a mirror. Thank you, Broken Tip.
Thank you.
And you see almost a mirror image as worn stone steps descend down from the mouth of the cave to the interior of the hill into what feels like a cellar. It's chilly in here compared to earthquake.
Oh dear.
It's okay. It's not a big one.
Nihon no?
Pardon?
Nihon no? A Japanese one?
I would. I don't know how I would experience anyone else's. Yes.
Oh, I thought there was an earthquake within the game.
Oh, I see. Yeah, telling me Hill's on the move again. No. Yes, as role played by Japan.
Thanks Japan for your RP.
Thanks for the immersion, Japan. Yes.
Thank you.
As the ground shifts beneath your feet. It wasn't a big one. That one last week was big, but yeah, it wasn't particularly damaging. Although I heard one of the local hospitals was flooded when their water mains broke.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, it's chilly in here, and quite a stark contrast to outside, and you detect the subtle scent of iron in the air. From a distant spot within the chamber, sputtering candles illuminate a multitude of keys dangling from taut strings that crisscross the walls. Hundreds of other keys are strewn across the dirt floor.
Wow.
As you take in the scene, you hear the sound of keys jingling as a goblin timidly emerges from the dimness. She wears a coat lined with metal keys and carries a flail that has padlocks instead of the spiked, normal flail heads.
Nice.
What are the what metal are the keys made of? Is it made of cold iron?
Cold iron?
Interesting.
Cold iron. In traditional mythology, cold iron is anathema to the Fae.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be a problem here.
All right. Because I'm like, if that's the case, I will take all the iron keys you have.
But yeah, I mean, so there is the scent of iron on the air.
Yeah.
As the goblin comes forward, kind of dragging these
Hello.
padlock-headed flail through the keys, she manages a faint smile and says, "Hey, hello. How might Jingle Jangle unlock a bit of happiness in your lives today?"
Hello, Jingle Jangle. Are you okay?
Not too bad. It's been better, to be fair. And I shall show you. We have a nice picture of Jingle Jangle. Yeah.
I
Aww.
love that.
Epic ears.
I love how brutal those padlocks look. Oh,
Yeah, right.
that's a good weapon.
I was kind of afraid she'd look like the female gremlin.
She just hasn't put her makeup on today.
And the wig.
She doesn't need
Yeah.
makeup. She's gorgeous.
She
The
is.
blonde wig. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Jingle Jangle. Und
And yours, but you have the advantage on me. Might I have your names?
Oh, you may call me Corey.
Corey?
you may call me Villy.
Really? Thank you very
No,
much.
Villy. Villy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Villy. It's just,
Yeah, thank you.
Just your accent.
It's okay.
No,
Um,
Willie will kind of stiffen when Jingle Jangle does ask, "May I have your names?"
I just said it naturally, and as I was saying it, all the memes flooded into my head.
Well, Jingle Jangle, we came searching for a key to unlock a cage in which a colleague of ours currently languishes. It is a small, magical type silver bird cage, about yay big. But on our way here, we were informed by one of those majestic willow trees that you yourself have recently befallen a fate which befell us quite recently. It sounds as though the rogues, those Herringon, they fell upon you and took your possessions as well, yeah?
And she looks down at the ground. Yes. Yes, I did
I did not have the key to unlock the way to escape that fate. Terrible, terrible things.
What did they take?
First, they stole Jingle Jangle's truffles. Next, they'll want Jingle Jangle's keys. Someone ought to give them a good shaking down so they know what it feels like.
Well, we would do that, but unfortunately they took our weapons. And all of our things. We've got nothing to fight them with.
Oh. That's a shame.
Do you happen to know... Oh, yes, no, you first.
It's okay, go for it.
No, you first.
She was like, yes, nasty herring guts. Jingle Jangle was just digging for the truffles in the swamp when a bunch of them leapt out from behind the reeds and shrubbery. They took the truffles, they threw me down in the mud, and hit me with their wooden clubs. Still smarts. Something rotten.
Is she still muddy?
Yes.
Allow me, if you will, Miss Jingle Jangle, to cast a small bit of magic that I know. It is it is a spell. And I will cast prestidigitation and clean her up.
And as the kind of spiraling sparkles and things surround her and the dirt is lifted away, like so many detergent commercials, just magically lifted out of the fabric.
It's all prestidigitation. We know their trick now. All advertising companies hire a wizard.
If a company could get their hands on that. And she kind of like, she's like, oh. And all of the keys kind of jangle as they kind of like get tossed around by the magic as well, and the dirt being lifted out. And she just makes this kind of musical kind of clinking sound, and she smiles broadly for the first time and spins in a tinkling of keys.
I'm so happy to see you happy.
All better. No, if only I had something to eat.
Well, if you're hungry, I have some of these. It's not much, but one will fill you for the whole day.
But what can I give in return for this cleaning and this offer of food?
Well, if you could give us perhaps even, if you have the key that we're after, that would be very lovely.
Describe the lock, and if I have it, I shall know the key.
It was a silver cage, magically enchanted. Small, about this size, is the same size as Lily just gestured to before. It was a fairly traditional lock, right?
In
Small,
shape and design, yes.
Yeah, traditional lock, about this sort of size. Silver.
Then you were told true. I do have such a key, and just a moment. I remember this one. This was and she basically talking to herself. She gives like a little kind of miniature story about pretty much every key she walks past on the way to find the one that you want, and just goes on and on about them. But she does go to the back wall and plucks one off the hangings on the wall, which is glinting in a silver way, the same color as the cage. And
yes, no, that looks right.
She comes back, and as I believe the art is depicting there, she comes back brandishing this one particular key, and gestures to all of you. There you go.
And here you go.
Just and proper, as it used to be. Gift for a gift. Oh, such dark times.
Reciprocity.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh, what do you know of it?
And she just kind of plumps herself down in a jangle and clatter of keys, and pops a good berry into her mouth and kind of works it around into the cheeks and like rolls it all over the different parts of the tongue to get all the different flavors from it.
A good berry indeed. You are very talented.
I'm very, very grateful for the gifts that I have learned.
Well, what can I share? It was that Agdon Longscarf, you know? He's the leader
He's
of
a
those
brute.
brigands, isn't he? Oh, terrible, terrible thing.
No manners.
He wears a bright blue scarf, moves as fast as lightning he does, dashing here and there, hopping over the ground as if magically born on some cloud or something.
Oh,
Yeah, we know the fellow.
The brigands...
magically born.
The brigands live in that massive tree stump. They call it the Brigands'
Yes.
Tollway. That is where they are
That's
based.
where we were. That's where we were before we were robbed.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been there. Do you
Have you been
know
to-
any? Yeah.
I say, have you been to the stump itself? That is where their encampment is. There are a few things up atop the stump to keep view on down things, but I've heard tell. Although I've never seen. It is deep within the stump. That's the true base is located. And if you can find your
see.
way into the interior, then perhaps you'll be able to find your possessions. Perhaps Jingle Jangle's truffles too.
Yes,
I would so love to have them.
hopefully we can find. You must have worked very hard to try and find them.
I did. And you have to rush so with the waters threatening to
Yes.
flow back in as quickly as they disappear.
I have to ask, actually, Jingle Jangle, would you happen to know, if there is any sort of entrance below the wooden planks? Or is it all you have to navigate yourself towards the tree from above, sort of thing?
Jingle Jingle. As my friend has asked, do you have a key that unlocks the pathway into the bandit's lair?
There is no door I am aware of that would need such a key, otherwise quite possibly, but there must be some connection. Do you know, quite near here there is a tower. A tower that has a rather precarious lean to it.
Yes, Elmar's tower, right?
You know Elmer. He's lovely.
Yes, no, Helma's lovely. Lovely dog, too.
Yes, he's a lovely papa. But Elmer knows a lot about the wells. He used to take care of them before that horrible Bavlorna came into this place.
Yes.
He might know a way. If there's some way that the wells are connected. Beneath, it is rumoured that there are passageways, connections between them. If there was some way to stop the waters, to repair one of the wells, at least for a time, maybe you could sneak in and creepy crawly into the bandits' den itself. Snatch up your gear, rise up, and give those bandits a good kicking.
Yes, definitely we'll give them a nice punch in the face for you. Oh, would you like another one? You've given us so much information.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Oh, delicious.
Willie's eyes kind of glaze over as he recalls Elmer and the tub of carrots and how he might poison said carrots to kill the Herringon.
And as Willie is considering that, he also remembers talk of a magical jug of water that Elmer told you could repair an well for a brief time, but not permanently. That was his goal.
Yes.
He had realized he was able to repair some of the wells temporarily, but wanted to was trying to find a way to do it permanently.
Willie also recalls the command word is geyser. Geyser! Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, with this key, we are heading back there anyway, so this works in our favor.
Splendid.
Yeah. I think we shall do this. If we are able to find your truffles and we are able to come across Tellamy Hill again, perhaps we will meet and be able to return them to you, Jingle Jingle. You have been most accommodating. I give you my thanks.
My pleasure. Tell me, which part of Hither are we in? I haven't been outside for quite some time.
I stick my head out of the crack. Where are we?
What?
Yes, from
Right.
this elevation, you get a pretty good view, and you are where you are on the map, so you are quite close to the slanty tower.
Oh, bottom. We're in bottom left. No, bottom right.
Bottom right.
Sorry.
There's the tower. Yes, you can see off to the left side of things. You can see the tower poking up between the trees.
From where she is, Willie will ask, "Are you able to see Mudchuckle?"
I'm going. I glance over in the direction of Mudchuckle. Can I see it?
You can
my
see.
keen eyes?
Yeah, with your very good vision, you can see a couple of rooftops. Yes.
Does it look to be on fire?
No.
Does it look to be rotten?
I mean, it looks like as you left it. I mean, the nothing had happened to the buildings, so.
Looks about the same.
Ah, good. So hopefully Satalavar will still be with the head grandmother where we left him.
That's right. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, ultimately. Well, we have the
But
key.
we also need to deliver things in order to go back. So should we talk to one or to the other?
Yeah,
They're two different directions.
yeah, but it is nice to be able to say that we have checked something off of our list. We have the key.
Yes.
Miss Corey.
Yes, dear.
You mentioned, and Mr. Villy, you mentioned perhaps returning my truffles to me.
If
we
it is
can.
possible, if we
We
can.
don't know if they've been eaten, I'm afraid. They might have been.
She looks crestfallen.
But if they have,
I do hope
we
not.
can definitely smack them about.
She sets her jaw.
I just got an image. Truffles being funguses, aka mushrooms, a bunch of rabbits drinking mushroom tea, Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit, the
Hey.
ultimate acid song. Go ask Alice. Sorry, that's the way my brain works. Back to the game.
Nice.
And Jingle Jangle says, well, sorry, I was thinking with my stomach before anything else, but there is something else you could retrieve for me if you are going to reclaim your belongings.
What are you after?
They stole Jingle Jangle's favorite key. And she looks conspiratorially about. It is a magic key.
A magic key?
It is.
To what? A chest. Oh,
I
door.
do not think too much upon what the keys are for. It is more, it is more the key itself that is the prize. If you describe a lock, I can find a key for it, but I do not know the lock from the key.
Ooh, I see.
If you get my
Fascinating.
meaning.
I do. Fascinating.
Please, if you could slip
If we can.
into the brigand's tollway. Please find my key.
From where I am, can I also... Do I see any signs of a giant snail? Or set of friends? Or
You do not.
centerpieces? Or
You do
what?
not. You do not, I'm afraid. Well, let's give you a perception check. Let's give it a try.
Oh gosh, it's a natural one.
Nothing
For a total
like
of 10, but it's a natural one.
that. No sign.
Of course.
Pixie flies into your eye.
Not again. Go away.
So say that again, Jingle. You cannot determine a key from a lock, but you can determine the lock from the key.
Other way around.
Other way around. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes, if you tell me about the lock, I can find the key for it. But looking at the key, I do not know the lock.
still. I do have a question, Jingle Jangle. You have
Yeah.
all these keys. What about the owner of the locks? Are these locks that will remain forever locked until you return the key?
It's funny, I never thought about it that way. I have a drive, an urge to gather as many keys as possible.
Yes.
It's that horrid frog lady, Pavlona.
Oh.
And she looks guilty and disappointed in herself. I made a deal with her.
Interesting.
And what did you ask for, Jingle Jangle?
I sought her help. I heard she could do things, magical things. I was afraid. I was always afraid of being caught on the wrong side of a locked door, you see.
Oh, I
Pavlona
see.
was more than happy to help.
Of course she was.
And now I'm not afraid anymore. But I must collect every key I find, every key I see. So
You
that
have no choice.
when I find that locked door, I will be able to open it. I will. I will. I will.
Jingle Jangle, allow me to give you one key that is not in your collection. The key to my friendship. You already have it.
As do mine.
Thank you.
That was smooth, Billy. I'm very impressed.
Willie will wink at Corey. Well, we have taken enough of your time, sweet Jingle Jangle, and we have business if we are to find your favorite magical key und your truffles.
Thank you. I hope you can. So, will you go and see Elma first?
That is where I think we will head
I
directly.
think it's the closest, for sure.
Willie's mind drifts back to the carrots.
I think that Corey, gives her one extra good berry. Just one more.
Mhm.
I'm afraid that's the last one I can spare, but it'll keep you full. I hope we're good friends. Tilamy did warn us that if we were bad friends, that things could go very wrong. Note, that's not why I'm doing this, but just a heads up.
I always knew I felt safe, yeah. The trees will protect me. Do not worry about me.
All right. I'm sure Tilamy can literally squash any of your opponents.
Oh, I'm quite safe. The trees are lovely.
Yes, they are. I like them a lot.
And
They
she,
remind me of someone.
she accompanies you back up to the cave mouth. And you could see it's like that part of Lord of the Rings where they just turn around and the valley's just full of trees.
Yep.
Like every willow is just gathered at the bottom of the mountain path, looking up, almost like bending backwards on their trunks, looking up at
Hello,
the cave
Tilamy.
mouth. And Jingle Jangle, waves delighted at them all, and they just like there's just a wave of movement through, like a gust of wind just tore through as they see her emerge from the cave mouth, and she waves down and giggles at all of them and their protectiveness, and she's like, thank you, and be safe, and do come back if you find my things.
Will do.
And she
Most
shouts.
assuredly will, Jingle Jangle.
She shouts down to the trees below. They're lovely. They're going to help. They're going to help. And there is a. Japan, are you going to oblige? No. Okay. There is. the ground starts to shift and shake as the willows starts to dance and prance around, linking branches with each other and skipping around on their roots and joyfully lining the roots down the hill as the trees just gleefully leap about the place as you make your way down, and you see the various trees looking there like,
Oh, thank you so much. That's lovely. Aren't you just the nicest? If Jingle Jangle likes you, I won't tear you to pieces.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
sweet.
you're so very, very kind.
You're so sweet.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Goodbye, Telemi. Have a good day.
Jingle jangle, safe and sound, coming out in the sunshine.
that's all.
I think as we're making our way towards the tail end, she tells to her hair and goes, "Look, me is rather like you. I hope you realize that." Oh, not you, Billy. She gestures at her hair.
Oh, thank
The number-
God.
Oh, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know
the
how I
number
would
of
handle
death
this.
threats.
Exactly. I don't know how I feel about being threatened to be murdered by an entire forest.
Oh, it's normal. Honestly, where I'm from.
This place is positively psychotic.
It wasn't a threat, it was just a statement of fact.
Exactly.
Even worse. Even worse.
The one thing that you can trust Faye to be usually is honest. Tricksy, yes, but honest. Dudley is one of the most brutally honest I've met. It's a nice change, not going to lie.
Yeah. Zakanda was very refreshing, I will admit. They are the first
Yes.
people to not dissemble when speaking with us. Other than our friend Afgong, he seemed very forthright. Just most unusual. Of a dragon.
And
Seen a very happy hill.
indeed. And you make your way down through the soft springy moss and off the edges of Telemi Hill. Unfortunately, squelching down into that familiar mud.
I take a deep breath of air. I think very quickly, without really looking, she pulls down her mask, takes a deep breath of regular air, and then puts her mask back up before she jumps off the hill.
That's it. And
It's like,
Willie will head to the edge of the hill and very stoically lift that one right foot up at like the 90-degree angle and just step forward and just drop into it like, like nothing for it.
Welch.
Right?
Okay, and yeah, as you step back down and make your way in to the trees once more, the mood of Telemi Hill and Jingle Jangle and the trees has definitely bled out into the forest here, and for a good, like 500 feet into the forest, it's just beautiful flowers, just
oh,
blooming and flourishing in the vicinity of the positivity of Telemi Hill.
As we're trudging through the swamp, Willie will take a position slightly to the right and behind Corey's shoulder, and where she can't see him, he'll kind of look up and give a sly, surreptitious smile at everything and like nod to himself as he looks at the terrain lightening up.
Corey, for her part, is absolutely delighted at all the flowers. And as we're kind of heading our way towards Lanty Tower, goes, "This is what it used to be like."
is.
Oh, I'm so happy to see it like this.
It is good. It is quite lovely. It seems things are... No, I won't say it, lest fate conspire to confound our goals, but I think that we are on the right foot at last.
Corey looks down at her feet and then realizes that Lily is speaking metaphorically and not literally. No, I'm on my left. Oh wait, no.
Indeed. And you make your way through the trees, crossing the top-bottom river as it flows through, meandering its way through the Brigand's Tollway and towards, as you now know, the Watcher's Pool, and branching off in the direction of Downfall. And Corey, at one point you hold out your hand to stop Willie, as you hear something fairly sizable coming through the trees ahead. What do you do?
Check firstly if I recognize the size. But as I'm like listening out, I'm gonna be trying to push Lily into like shrubs and vegetation, so like something is on its way.
Yeah,
What are you doing, Fraulein? What the... Ah!
You would say from the kind of careless like sounds of going through undergrowth and shrubbery and stuff, it sounds like a large creature. It's not trying to be stealthy.
Can I listen out, see if I can if I can recognize the sorts of noise? Like, is it stepping? Is it squelching? Is it like bonking?
Oh, Scrappy, thank you so
Scrappy!
much, you legend.
Hello, gorgeous.
Thank you. Hey, everyone, enjoy your gifted subs there. Get them phoenixes flying. Thank you so much, Scrappy. You do not hear footfalls, like regular splashes or squelches.
Okay.
Just the sound of vegetation moving aside.
I would like to pull down and hide as I listen out.
Okay, right, roll me a stealth check, please. Willie, you too? Oh, stealthy warlock that you are.
Willie's standing in the shrubbery and looks at Corey, duck down and like looks around and like, and then we'll...
Okay, so both of you make a stealth check.
My rolls today.
No.
So can I also keep an ear out? Can I do a perception check as well, please?
Yes, please.
So it was a 12 for stealth.
Okay.
And then a natural 1 for perception. What the heck? That's 2 this session.
Ouch.
To the skill I have a +9 in. Yeet.
Willie?
A 15.
Nice. So both of you feel relatively hidden in the lush undergrowth here. But Corey, you do not manage to make out anything else other than the sound of the vegetation crushing and crashing ahead.
I keep a keen eye out as I sit and I wait.
Sorry, let's go for chat. And you peer out from your hiding place, and you see some of the bushes and low branches pushed aside, and emerging from the leaves, you cannot immediately see the face of the creature as it's covered in a sheet of paper with a drawing of a frog on it.
I knew it.
And the giant snail, Abbott, glides into view, just beelining towards Telemy Hill.
Oh,
Corey,
yes, no, I see it.
Wait,
do I see who is on it?
No, nobody.
where are Emin and Daisha?
I don't know.
Until I was hoping they'd show up munching on the roast turkey leg.
Again. It's the frog. Abbott, it's us. Here, darling. Over here.
And
Yeah,
one eye stalk kind of twists over, and the paper twitches as if a broad smile has broken underneath it.
Here, darling.
And it slowly it takes a very wide turn round and comes in your direction.
Darling, where are Daisha and Ellen?
Does the giant snail equivalent of gambling about you like a puppy.
Which is like a very slow.
Takes
like,
about 30
motion,
minutes,
almost not spirit.
I was thinking half an hour exactly. You know, like, oh, he is very excited today.
So, okay, but calm down, calm
Like
down.
that's that SpongeBob bit where it's just like slowly.
Yeah, Willie will go over and grab the traces, use animal handling to kind of keep him from his excitability and get him settled down while Corey is kind of taking a look at figuring
Okay.
what's what. A 17
Is
to
that-
calm him down.
The ponderous antics are calmed.
I'd like to accept. I go, darling. Where's your mama? I guess. Where's Abbott? I mean, where's Daisha? Where's Abbott? Where's Daisha? Where's...
And Abbott slowly turns in the direction of Slanty Tower.
Okay. In that way? Do you want to take us there?
And its face kind of turns to you, the frog picture looking at you.
Ooh, who's an adorable frog? Shall we? Let's go.
Willie scrambles up onto Abbott's back.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Does
And-
Abbott still have the supplies that we put on them?
No.
Okay.
But they left the paper. That was kind of them.
That was kind of them. I mean,
had
Evan would just
No
freak out for
need
sure.
for a rudimentary frog drawing, apparently.
Right. All right. Yeah, we'll climb aboard Abbott and. Right, Abbott, take us to the tower.
And
Let's go.
your giant snail friend starts to slide through the forest of hither in the direction of the Slanty Tower, which, before long, looms through the trees. And exactly. And Abbott goes up onto the rocky outcropping that it is perched upon, up to the doorway, and patiently waits for you to clamber off before slithering up onto the wall like before, and going
Arcing.
inside
his shell, and just stuck to the wall. It's huge bulge on that
Oh.
side.
I love Abbott so much.
If you had passed your perception check from the hill, you would have seen him on the side of the tower.
That would have been amazing.
But
Dang it. Oh.
you push your way through the
Perfect.
door into the Slanty Tower. Thank you. What do you do?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey, we're back.
DM. Elma. Hello.
DM, Elma.
And you hear a
Nova.
familiar voice as a strangely New York twang echoes down from the Tower of War. Hey, it's about time you guys got here! Sorry, I can't do it. And we shall leave hither for today and return to Slanty Tower and our other friends who have apparently awoken here. And
Lovely.
a massive thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Massive shout out to Hops and Dragons for the raid. Thank you so much. Thank you for the new follows. We'll be sending you that Discord invite if you have not already. Do consider shooting us a follow so that we can get you into our followers Discord. You can share your projects, what's going on with you, art, discuss about stuff. Look for players, look to be a player in people's games. All sorts of good stuff going on first. Who's on first?
Who's on second? No. What? It's a
I'm
bit.
confused. I'm confused. What, Phantom? What?
It's a bit. It's like, who's on first? No. Who's not on first? Who's on second?
I see.
What's
I
on
see.
second? Exactly.
I'm confused. But everyone, thank you, Broken Tip. You're very welcome. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. A massive thank you to Scarlett and Charlie. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you're all very well, and looking forward to seeing you again. Everyone, please do give them a follow in all of their places. Boom, there is Scarlett's stuff there, and here is Charlie's. Okay, please head on
Yay.
over, give them a follow,
Yeah.
and jump on in all of the good stuff. Scrappy, thank you so much for those gifted subs. And
Thank you, Scrappy.
yes, indeed. And
So-
the other gifted sub as well before, who was that? Sorry, let me get it. Who was it? GF Powers for the bits, thank you so much. And it doesn't say the other gifted sub. Where is it? There was another gifted sub, I remember.
It was.
Broken Tip, thank you, Broken Tip, for the gifted sub for Phantom there as well. Thank you so much. And we will see you all again very, very soon.
Quick-
but let us
quick
hear what these two are
question,
up to.
John.
Yes, sorry, Willie.
Not to interrupt you, I was
Please,
sent an instant message from one of the viewers about DMing theory. Since we're ending a few minutes early,
Sure.
you want me to ask the question, and then the three of us, since we are all very experienced DMs, can give our take on it.
Please, yeah, please.
All right, what is your opinion about running a game? Do you think it is better to allow the characters to make their own decisions and any actions they make could have consequences later on? Or, as a DM, do you find that it is better to control and manipulate every situation so the players / characters go and do what you want them to?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's a great question.
I mean, I'm all for player action. I think that more interesting stories come from just me. I'd rather incorporate as much of my
Humble.
players, honestly. Oh,
Yeah.
well, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of the joy of D&D for me is that players can make the story that you like. Here are the skeleton bones. Fill it with flesh and life and love and make a Frankenstein monster of creation. That's my take on it. But also, if you're really wanting them to do it, if you're good enough at the manipulation, they'll make the decision for you anyway. Or at least that's my personal opinion. I like
How about
player
you?
interaction a lot.
Yeah. How about you, John? What do you think? Control or
For the most part, have the story be aware of what's happening in the world as far as the other players in the story are concerned, and react to what the players do. But from time to time, you can. I think it's okay to take control. Like today, I stole all your stuff, and there was nothing you could do about it. I think on occasion, whilst that is a little railroady, the path that you choose to react to that and what you planned to do with the Harangons is entirely up to you.
Murder.
I think plot hooks like that are important, but one of the things I love about the Arcane Library stuff that we use from time to time is they offer up several plot hooks for each story, and Frictionless Dan has done that for the within the Brigand's Tollway, which is what we will be moving into in the near future, as I'm sure you're aware. So I think it's okay to do that kind of thing from time to time, but it shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And yeah, like I said, this is I'm very much a subscriber to the cooperative storytelling part and idea of the game, and there is a plot, there is something that's happening, but I love seeing how the player's actions change what's in the module. Because I usually think if you're doing homebrew, it's much easier to be reactive to the players because it's so much more freer and flexible. But if you're running a module, I think from time to time you do have to steer them in the right direction if you want to. But I think, maybe I've been lucky, I'm not sure, but the majority of players I've had have been very aware and present in the situation, and recognize when they need to go in a certain direction, and they're not say, okay, well, yes, we've seen what's happening here, we're going to ignore that and go to the beach, yay. There is a unspoken kind of contract there between the members of the group.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. I mean, I think it comes down to who your players are. You might want to go more control and more binary choices. Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Depending on the experience and maturity of your players. Because very young groups, I have seen sessions devolve into 3 hours of people trying to animal handle a dog into being their pet. But I also subscribe very strongly to the school of take what you want but eat what you take. Let them do what they want. Let them have narrative control. Let them say, I reach out and grab the bottle on the table, even if you said there was never a bottle on the table. If they are helping to build the story, but again, it's that trust. Because like you said, you build a framework of a good story and you put the elements, but how you get from A to B, like I think, like 491 Phantom just said, guide them from A to B. I think that's the best way to go. Just like, here's A, that's kind of what your goal is. How you get there is up to you. But your actions that you do that are going to have consequences, and being reactive to that as well. You always end up with a better experience if you let everyone be involved in shaping the overall story versus this is my idea and you're gonna follow it, so
yeah. I also think with that one of the things that you can do to, if you want to add more guidance to your players, is before a session starts or even during character creation, give them, say, like they have a purpose within the story, right? Or within the world. Because if they're feeling listless, that's going to come out. So one of the things that, because I've run pirate games and I've run all bard games, and when I ran the old bard game, I got them to roll for band member before we started. And by getting them to, before they made their characters, they knew like, oh, I'm the drummer, so I'm going to pick this kind of bard to be.
Yeah.
But I want to be this sort of thing, like, and asking them, what do you want out of the world? For me, because I do mainly homebrew, that sort of element changed. And when I did Waterdeep Dragon Heist, knowing, what do you want out of Waterdeep? What are you seeking? And being able to take, okay, you want to do this? What can I do in the story to twist it for you? Made it a lot better of an experience for me and my players when I had that experience.
Yeah, my next thought kind of like, segues from that nicely. It's like, steering them in the right direction becomes much more organic and easy to do, exponentially compared to how well you've tied backstories into the module as well. Because and like 9 times out of 10, like something will pop up in the backstory that just fits so perfectly. Like even with you guys with this adventure, the stuff that you've given me is like, there was like several times where I was like, did they read the adventure?
I love when that happens
because it fits so nicely, and it makes it just that much more personal experience. And I think it's more interesting for people to watch as well, because they're getting a different take on the same adventure from the different groups that play through it.
No, I agree. The best. I mean, the reason why Critical Role and why the Wacky Verse are so engaging is because we all know the plot of Curse of Strahd. We all know it. It's been done to death 100 million times, but it's the story of the characters and how their backstories change it is what makes each bit so well done. And so it's like campaigns like this, like the way John runs them and stuff, it's so character focused that's why you tune in. That's what hooked me was Esmeralda's story. As soon as she got killed by the Airwolves, I was hooked. On the hill outside, and I'm just like, okay, and all the different little pieces, because it's so, to the viewer that asks the question, that's really key, is let them do what they want, I think, and really work to tie in backstory.
I mean, on that note, like I'm in a bi-weekly game called Arc Point that's fantasy narrative and not normal, not like a typical D&D you go in and you smash some monsters' faces in, like, and our GM is so quiet comparatively, like, to the rest of the players, and it's such an amazing experience. Like, we have a ship that just kind of naturally happened. Like, the fact that people could feel that sort of interpersonal connection on a character level and have that come out in the way that they act and perform, and like the tensions that happen, and the GM taking that and going, no, go for it. Oh, you're inventing this object that didn't exist? You're using a sending stone, and we're officially making, like, not cell phones but spell stones a thing, and somebody's gonna 3D model a real one? Like, it's amazing to me
Awesome.
just how much like a single game can inspire people, and like a lot of that is is
absolutely.
harnessing your players' creativity, not
Yeah.
just your own, because this isn't just your story, it's your players as well. You're a narrator.
Absolutely.
The best sessions I feel that I run are the ones where I'm sitting there and I don't have to talk for an hour because the players
Yeah.
are role playing and they're telling the
100%.
story, and I'm just like, job's
Oh,
done.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's, and you also learn so much just by listening to them. Like, you know, I never thought of that, but it's canon now. You know,
My favorite puzzles are the ones with you go, I haven't actually come up with a solution. Entertain me.
right.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing about puzzles. It's like puzzles can be a hugely frustrating until you actually say, "Yep, that was the solution." Yes, well done.
Sounds good.
Mhm. Although I think I liked today's. It was just that nice like level of you had to think about it, but it wasn't unsolvable.
Yeah,
It wasn't unsolvable.
they're just challenging enough. They're not super hard, but
Yeah.
I have enjoyed the puzzles that we've encountered so far in this game.
I agree.
You know,
it's
with
nice.
painting
Well,
the horses and stuff. Yeah.
And
Right.
there's social puzzles too, like the Devilkin and the
Mm.
musical area, and like if you don't release them, you might be stuck with purple noodles. Like
Yep.
like the moderation of the social puzzle is really cool too.
Yeah, well, you've complimented each of the authors that we've come across so far, because the merry-go-round horses was Wizards of the Coast, the Devilkin was Frictionless Dan, and today's was CZRPG. So fabulous design from all of the people involved.
Yeah, they're great content producers.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right, thank you, everybody. Let's just wrap things up there, and thank you for that, Shirley. That was nice to talk about. Now, let us wend our weary way and get off and into the world until we see you all again very, very soon.
Drawing.
Corey, what's coming up with you? Yes, don't worry.
On the 5th of April, we are releasing the Of Rain and Rescue, the new adventure from our monthly NPC edition, which contains the addition of Tri-Hounds, which are a type of Cerberus dog that can combine and uncombine, that have different arcane abilities that are usually bred for war, but there's a mutt that is having a bit of a problem. So that'll be releasing April 5th. And then Arc Point will be occurring next Sunday if you'd like to join me as I play Miss Cotta, as she is recently dealing with the emotional outburst of what happened last week and last session, which was a bit bloody, I'm not going to lie. But if you'd like, I'd love to see you at the College of Inspiration.
There's the link over there, folks. Go and give them that follow. And Charlie.
I'm doing stuff. So like I mentioned at the beginning,
Your birthday?
my birthday, a 12-hour stream
Birthday.
raising funds, doing a fundraiser for FIG, Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming, which is really important, especially to us old school gamers, to make sure new voices are represented and we bring in the new generation of gamers, because it just makes it all better. That will be Wednesday on DM Charlie Gaming from 6 to 6 Pacific. Movies, I'll have some giveaways. I might do some world building and stuff. Who knows? However the spirit moves me. Rime of the Frost Maiden will be returning on April 2nd. We're
Sounds
gonna
good.
April 3rd, Sunday, April 3rd. Yeah, we've been discussing we're gonna do some changes and make it more fun for everybody. Yeah. What else have I got? Yeah, we've got games open. Frictionless Dan is running another one shot next week.
Awesome.
We have a couple of we have a Netherdeep campaign starting up. Yeah, we have another deep campaign with seats available. DM Warrior, DM Chuck, he's got a campaign in the offing that'll be starting here in a few weeks. So we have spaces to play.
Nice.
And then also, I'm putting out a call. I am actively looking for great DMs. Emphasis on great. So if you think you have the chops to be a pro DM and really excel at it, and I'm saying you're like Phoenix level, Okay. Seriously, hit me up, and I'll help you turn pro. So that's all I've got. That's
Awesome.
me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Right. Okay. So, yes, we will be drawing our lucky winner of Encounters in the Feywild after I get going through what is coming up on the channel this week. If you are not already, please, ! Enter for your chance to win this fantastic supplement that you can use as one-shots or drop into your campaigns.
Sad that I can't enter. I'm so sad that I can't enter. Do it for me.
Somebody, yes, in Scarlet's
Please.
name.
Right? If you win Papa Dragon, you owe it to me. You owe it to me.
Please.
Only if you sing during the fundraiser.
Gladly.
All right, everybody. So, yes, we hope to see you again very soon. Later on today for me, or tomorrow morning, if you're in that section of the world, North America and the like, we will be jumping back into CZRPG's original campaign, Jacinta's Tyranny, and joining our good friends over there to see what is going on as they delve into the depths of the Thieves Guild beneath the ghoul-infested streets of the ghost city of Heptios. Then we shall be back with our streams Friday evening or Saturday morning. I'll be doing my second Bookworm stream as we continue to look through Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Join us to hang out and chat, as I very rarely get the chance to do with all of you lovely people over there in chat. So come and hear some spooky stuff from Ravenloft. And we had a fantastic time looking through all the dark gifts last time, and I cannot wait to get back into that and to hang out and chat with everyone. It's quite slow going through the book because we're having a nice chat with everybody in the chat there, which is one of the reasons I started that stream, so that is very nice to do. So yes, join us Friday evening, Saturday morning for that. Then later on Saturday, we will be back with our Candlekeep Mysteries crew. They narrowly avoided a TPK last week, and we're looking forward to joining them again on Saturday. That'll bring us round to next week. Not usually a thing we have, but Monday we have a stream because we have another one-shot roulette game coming up soon. Join us to join. You can help roll the dice and generate the random crazy characters for the wonderful, wonderful artists and content creators from the Unchained? I want to say Unchained. It is Unchained, isn't it? Why can't I remember?
Which one?
It is, right, it's the Unchained series, right? Unchained Goddesses, Unchained, all the different ones there.
Oh, brain numb, no coffee.
Me too, I know, me too. I'm like, what? Why is my brain not working?
Coffee, go bye-bye.
Dungeon Masters Guild, it's on the bestsellers. It's right
I know.
there. Help. Yeah, Uncaged. I was so close.
Thank you.
So close. I'm sorry. Excuse me, angry no girl. She will be angry now. So yes, the wonderful artists and one of the wonderful authors involved in Uncaged Goddesses are joining us. The artists, including the cover artist for the recent, currently number 5 most popular on the DM's Guild, Uncaged Goddesses, fantastic, as well as the author Dylan Ramsey, who is also the author for the fantastic Candlekeep Mysteries guide that ties it all together into one beautiful campaign, which we are using on our Saturday show. That is Monday, so come and help us with the creation of these crazy characters and just see what's in store for those wonderful Uncaged artists and content creators, which will be coming up the week after on the Monday. Now, or Sunday evening, depending where you are. The character generation will be Monday all over the world. Now, Tuesday returns us to Icewind Dale, as we were ironically snowed off last week. And then we'll be back in the Underdark for Out of the Abyss, over in the Amber Temple again, where they have just restored the memories and powers of the Lich Extanter. And they were slightly perturbed that they'd done that until he offered them tea. I'm sure it'll work out nicely. And then it'll bring us all the way back here, unfortunately, without a Vili for a week next week, but we will be back here in the Slanty Tower to venture up the stairs as Willie sets to poisoning the carrots on the ground floor. And we'll be...
there it is. There's the motivation for the entire session.
And we will be joining...
go have fun. Go on your adventure.
Alchemical poisons.
Indeed. And yes, we shall be joining our good friends Steph and Colby for their first session after their wedding, as we welcome them back as newly wedded players to Wild Beyond the Witchlight next week. A massive thank you. Baron Dragonborn has their hands on the new Kirby game. Enjoy. And everyone, please do join us as we head off raiding, and you too can get yourself a ridiculous amount of channel points like Baron has, and you can aid our players in their adventures as you use those dream pies to give them inspiration or to give me disadvantage, whatever you fancy. And we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Let's see who is on. Let's see if any of our friends have kicked off. Lots of people are on. Let's see who is playing at the. None of the stream team are on. Critical will have enough people watching, of course. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yes, one of a recent friend. We were privileged to run a community one-shot, Humblewood one-shot the other day, and the fabulous Maharishi joined us for that. And his more regular channel, Milady Saito, is playing some Dungeons and Dragons, the Azure Kingdom at the moment. So let's head on over there and give them. Oh, are they on live now, Scrappy? Is it Dag's game? Oh, it's Dag's game right now. Yes, fantastic. I was worried they had finished. Yes. Okay, this weekend is the fabulous GaryCon happening over in the US. But, Quarry, you'll be happy to see, at the moment, there is an Australian takeover of the stream, as the GaryCon live Twitch channel has been taken over by our friends, Dag, Dead Aussie Gamer, Robert Hartley, and, of course, Dreaded GM as well.
Dreaded!
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today is Dag, tomorrow is Dread, and Sunday is Robert Hartley. Do join them if you are able. Let us raid into our good friend Dag's game after we have figured out who this winner is. Today's giveaway. Encounters in the Feywild. Closing up those entries. You've had your chance. Let's go. Thanks, Robojax. Today's winner is Phantom.
Hey!
Congratulations.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Okay.
Omedetou!
Get that link to you very soon, my friend. Conga Mouse. Conga Mice, I should say. And yes, I'll get that link to you soon, my friend. And enjoy. Congratulations. And I hope you enjoy all of the fun little things, including today's encounter, which is in those pages there. Right, okay, everyone, let's go and see our good friend Dag as he's doing awesome things over on GaryCon Live. I'm so proud of them for getting involved with that. Okay, let's go and raid. So, thank you, everybody. Do stick around for that raid to get yourself some of those channel points. And where are we at? GaryCon Live. Okay, everyone, let's go. Thank you so much for joining us, but it is time to finish. Stick around for the raid if you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. But till next time, as we say around these parts, oyasumi nasai.
Oyasumi!
Oyasumi!